Okay, so let's talk about new additions. So we are down here again at the softball team, and we see that Evan and Michael, did they exist before? So let's go check. Michael did, but I'm not seeing an Evan listed in the Syracuse directory. So we go into the new additions tab, and we first take the general athletics directory URL, and we add that here. And we type his name, Evan Ruechel, Ruechel. And we see that his title is assistant coach, okay? And if we want to, we should also add his bio. Okay, Evan. And we also want to add his photo URL. So again, we come back to his bio, we control click on a Mac or right click on his photo and do copy image address. And we add that into the URL. And we use the drop down to find Syracuse because that is the school that he is at. Now, if you ever have any trouble finding the school here, you can just always go to the colleges tab and search for it. It might not be named exactly how you think it is, but you have to use a school in this list. If not, just add a note that you couldn't find the school and write it here, okay? So that is a new addition, okay? Okay, let's do another example. And for now, I'm going to go down to this school, which is Providence, okay, the Providence Friars. So what I did is I opened up Friars and brought myself into the staff directory. I came to the softball section. I see Jill, Bree, Alex, and Stacy. Okay, so we see that Jill's there. We see that Bree is there. And we see that Alex is there. But we don't see Stacy. And we see that Stacy Taylor Perry is not listed there. So let's go. You see that she's a graduate assistant. So again, because she's a graduate assistant, it's more likely that she's going to be leaving. She's just volunteering. So let's try to open up her profile. So we click here, and this comes here, 404 not found. So we know that Taylor is likely no longer a part of the athletic administration. So here in this case with Taylor, we would say that she's not in the sport directory. She's not with the school, and the changes that we've made are, yes, we have made a change because she's no longer with the school, right? And so that is how we would think about those changes, right? So now Taylor is a graduate assistant, so it might not be worth it to search for her, but you could always say Taylor Perry, softball, Providence, and kind of see was this person, do they have another place that they have landed? So let's see actually. It looks like Taylor this might be her, but it looks like she's a player in this case on the softball roster, not a coach. And again, we're specifically focused on looking for coaches. So I would just leave this as is. We don't need to go look for her anymore. Now, something I would say is if it was Jill that was no longer here, let's say Jill was no longer with the school, Jill was the head coach. So it would be worth it to me to do a search for Jill Kurkowski and determine, where she may have went, right? But Jill is still coming up as the softball coach, head coach. But sometimes if that person is no longer at the university, you might want to start changing. Well, actually, now Jill, instead of being at, Friars, maybe Jill has actually, we've learned, moved to Syracuse. And her name is still the same. She's now an assistant coach at Syracuse. This is just an example. And her new A bio URL is something that you found